People are going back to their homes in that district. Others are running in random directions. Is anyone available to help? We've got our hands full already. I'll check it out. I run. I don't care if people see me anymore. Why would it matter now? I leap from a high wall up to a roof. I head toward the problem area as the crow flies. He's right. People are heading backwards. And many people are running aimlessly in terror. Even though there's a perfectly good evacuation route in the other direction. Why are they going this way? Did something violent happen over here? Near the end of the pack, I see a man with a mohawk wearing nothing but a leather jacket, even though it's winter. He's drooling as he runs. He has clearly lost it. Stop! I hit him with a flying jump kick. Hee! What the hell was that for? How dare you chase and attack all these people when we are trying to evacuate them? I'm not doing any of that, you are. Don't judge me by my clothes. I'm a hard-working law student, you know? This guy's completely missing the point. Then why is everyone running away from you? I'm running too! I'm just slower than them. Why'd you run this way? What's going on? Just spit it out. There's a monster over there. What? A familiar? But none of our familiars should attack anyone. What did it do? It ate someone. Really? It ate Takao-kun right in front of me. He starts sobbing. He was still in elementary school. I've been helping him study. But why did he have to die like that? No way. There's a familiar attacking people? Okay, now, calm down. There's another evacuation route in that direction. We have nothing to worry about. What the hell is happening to this world? He'd been carrying a compact version of the 6 codes of Japanese law, but now he throws it at the ground. Laws don't mean a damn thing if we are all going to die. I pick it up and brush off the dust. That's not true. We're going to need laws in the new world. Now go there and make good use of what you know. I push him forward. He starts stumbling forward, sobbing. Sorry for kicking you. I head in the opposite direction toward the monster. Before me is an appalling sight. Everyone here is dead. No human could have done this. Some corpses have been crushed to death. Some pulled apart. Some which look like they've been melted with extreme heat. Several of them. And not just human lives. One of Martel's garages with an entrance to the underground tunnels. It's been thoroughly and completely destroyed. There's no way we'll be able to use it anymore. Whoever did this, did it for pleasure. The kind of lunatic who takes delight in ruining other people's lives. I use all my senses to analyze the area. My eyes, ears, nose, skin. I can feel the heat of a living thing. It's hiding in the darkness, keeping its breath quiet. I create a blade slowly so it doesn't make any noise. There's something underneath that pile of rubble and metal. I carefully reach out with one hand and quickly pull off a large piece of it. It's a civilian. I pull my Aurora back in. He's dead. He must have been under here when the rubble fell, given how badly damaged the body is. He's still warm. He might have been alive just a minute ago. I can't bear to look at this. I can see how much pain he was in. I decide to at least turn him face up. But when I reach around the body, I feel something squirming. A huge, spider-like bug. Its 8 legs are stuck into the man's back, and it won't move. Its abdomen is slowly expanding. I can feel fire. My combat instincts flick on. This is an emergency. I suppress what I was feeling just a moment ago. I drop the body where it is and jump back. The next moment, the spider explodes, covering the area in fire and molten rock. It was a trap. To kill anyone checking for survivors. That's just evil. Humans deserve more dignity than that. I clench my fist and punch through a nearby street sign. I know they do! How is this any different from what Akane's done? Voices inside me lash out with counter-arguments. It's not different at all. I know that. I know that far too well. We have no right to be mad at this. So I just endure it. After calming down a little, I continue searching for survivors. I don't find any. Every last one was killed. Including the Martell employees here. After half an hour, I give up. Greenery is already starting to cover the bodies. It's starting to cover everything. I hope it makes all of this a mere layer of sediment, just a fossil of the past. Make our sins just a fact of history. Evening. The wind starts blowing. The harsh winter breeze carries the smells of blood and devastation. Apparently, a fire started somewhere. Like a signal fire, it gives off a tall column of smoke. The vast majority of the people here chose to evacuate. But a small minority chose to remain in their houses. They had various reasons. The disasters will end eventually. Their children won't come back. They don't want to leave their homes. Some of the elderly have simply not woken up. Normally, we should be doing whatever we can to try and help them. But that's no longer possible. They'll return to the planet soon. The tunnels to the shelter are too narrow for most of the refugees to go in right away, so many are forced to wait on the surface. We hadn't thought of that. I asked anyone whose homes haven't been destroyed to go back for now, but no one's moving. I can't blame them. We are all worried. They aren't sure they'll be saved if they leave the lines now. They want to stay right here, where they can watch the evacuation progress. At this rate, it's going to take another day. I just hope one more day is enough. Though I should be used to it by now, the responsibility of saving all these people is weighing on me. That night, most of the refugees sleep in the street. The people sit down on the cold, hard ground and feed themselves with the provisions they brought. Some people try to sleep, but most of them couldn't. It's too cold. The vast majority of them spent the whole night awake. The next morning. Reports of trouble. Another evacuation route has been attacked. Some of the survivors are shouting about what they saw. They're making others nervous. By the time I got there, it was all over. I don't want to compliment this asshole, but he did it perfectly. Though it's easy to imagine how. I know he can watch us with his familiars. There's no way I'll be able to stop him at this rate. If we still had a summoner here, then maybe I'd be able to do something. Maybe sending Shimako through the gate was a bad call. Tennoji-kun, you need to eat something. She hands me an onigiri and a paper bowl filled with pork miso soup. So these are the emergency rations. Thank you. Do we have enough for this for everyone? We do. Many of the freezers in restaurants and other buildings are still working for now. So we are making this up as we go. I take the bowl. It's good. I can feel my stomach filling up. Having hot food for once makes me feel sleepy. Tennoji-kun, it's happening again. As I sit down, napping, we get bad news. A third attack. Another thorough massacre. The people are starting to get shaken up by it. Will we be okay? Can we go down there yet? Every few minutes someone asks one of us to explain what's going on. With multiple evacuation points destroyed, the refugees are overflowing in other areas. It's making everything inefficient. This is bad. We might not have time to save all of them. 3 p.m. The Song of Salvation gets louder again. It started as a single melody, but it's much more complicated now. There are no people playing the other parts. grating of the earth, groaning of the atmosphere, shaking of the trees. A constant ringing noise, suddenly made louder by the supernatural energy filling the world. The sounds of destruction are in harmony. Everyone can hear it now. What the hell is that sound? What's happening to the world? It's ending. There's even a radio talking about it. I hear a song. What in the world is this Judgment Day? It sounds solemn. The song is filling the world, along with an unprecedented set of catastrophes. The announcer reports on the casualties with a shaking voice. Apparently, metropolitan areas have completely collapsed after the earthquakes. All the streets are filled with groans of injured people who will probably die in a few hours. Every part of the country has its own refugees. Swarms of them converge on intact villages, fighting with the locals. Stealing food, setting fire to buildings, committing acts of violence. Kasamatsuri City is actually quite lucky. We are far from the epicenters, and we haven't been hit by a tsunami. We are surrounded by mountains and forests, so we are naturally defended. And most of all, we have a shelter. Though I am worried about how much these plants are growing. After looking around from the rooftops, it's obvious that a large area of the city has been completely engulfed by trees. Seeing nature rebel against us is like a nightmare for everyone living in this city. Some people start yelling at us when they hit their limit. What's going on? When can we get into the shelter? My grandmother's ill. We need to let her rest soon or she'll die. What about that monster? Have you stopped it yet? Why aren't the police helping us? You people don't know what you're doing. We try to tell them to calm down. Our voices grow hoarse. We know they can't stay calm. They're all at their limit. One of the refugees points at me and shouts. What about that guy? He's jumping from roof to roof and climbing up the sides of buildings. How do we know he's not the monster? Me? One of the employees pulls me away. Into a temporary tent. I think it's best you stay out of sight, Tennoji-kun. No, it'd be like this no matter what I did. No one has infinite patience. Isn't there something we can do about this? I'd really like to do something about that summoner, at least. That's the biggest thing I can do, which doesn't involve me being a target for angry refugees. I leave the tent. I feel a familiar nearby. This place might get attacked while I'm gone. I shouldn't leave. But what if another tunnel entrance gets attacked? I can't just let that happen either. Suddenly, something synchronizes with my vision. This feels very similar to being connected to a familiar. Especially when I used leaf birds. I focus on that sensation until I know where the familiars are. They're heading for one of the evacuation points right now. I run. It was sudden and unexpected, but I don't have time to question whether it's accurate. I run across the rooftops to get there as fast as possible. When I come out onto one of the main roads, I find it's blocked. The street is completely filled with unnaturally huge trees and tall weeds. A wall of dense vegetation. It must have grown thousands of times faster than normal plants. There's just no way it could be this fast. At this rate, the whole city could be covered in a couple days. There aren't any good detours nearby. Do I have to break through here? I swing my Aurora blade. I cut through the trees at the base. I feel a lot of resistance, as if I'm cutting diamonds. Given how wet they are, I doubt we could burn them down either. I feel my Aurora bite into something other than a tree. I pull it out. It's a human body. The top half still looks human, but the bottom is just a mass of mushrooms and other fungal growths. The natural disasters were just the beginning. At the end, civilization will be torn apart piece by piece by the forest itself. I start cutting down trees again. I give up quickly. I can see new grass is growing where trees used to be. If I go too deep into this, I'll be swallowed up by the plants myself. It's hopeless. I turn back. Even heading back the way I came feels like pulling myself out of quicksand. Suddenly, it happens again. I receive an image of an alleyway between buildings. I don't know whose viewpoint this is, but that's exactly what I needed. I shake off the vines and run into an alley near here. I jump onto a wall, then a roof, then run across more roofs. It's a straight shot from here. I jump down from a 4-story building and land in an open area where multiple alleyways connect. The dull grey concrete makes this feel like a slum. Several refugees are sleeping here temporarily. There's even some tents and also some cardboard boxes that homeless people are living in. I look around the area. I see one of our employees and talk to him. Hello. Hey, what brings you over here? Something was bugging me. Has anything strange happened here? Nothing lately. But one of the cops was asking who's in charge here. I told him you were somewhere else. The cops? They're not gonna try arresting us in this situation, are they? No, wait. More importantly, I tell him about the summoner attacking evacuation points. This monster's attacking people? Yes, he is. There were some young delinquents beating people up earlier, but... Eh? What happened to them? Well, some nice delinquents appeared and beat them up. Nice delinquents? That term puzzles me. Anyway, I'll be keeping an eye on this place for a while. Tell me if anything happens. Okay, if I see the monster, I'll come find you. I climb up a building and sit down cross-legged. No sign of familiars nearby, but I know they're coming. They might be hiding right under our noses. Nothing happens for half an hour, as if he's mocking my determination. Something feels off. I did believe that image without thinking. It might have been a trap. In which case, this is bait, and he's attacking somewhere else. What do I do? Stay here? Go somewhere else? What the hell do I do? As if to soothe my fear, my vision suddenly synchronizes again. I can see a young man crouching down on the roof of a building, watching the area carefully. Wait, that's me. I look up. A golden bird flies overhead, like a butterfly. That was you? So, that bird is a familiar? But whose? I do know one thing. This bird is on my side. I'm sure about that. So I know for sure the other familiars are targeting this place. I can't let my guard down. The golden bird flies away as if it just finished its job. Looking at that bird makes my chest feel tight for some reason. Sorry. I don't know why I apologized. The tunnels finally cleared up enough to restart evacuation. When the refugees hear that, they all look up, sick of waiting. Please stay calm and walk slowly. There's plenty of space in the shelter for all of you. You will all be able to get in. Stay in line and don't fight. The line of people starts moving. They walk two abreast into what looks like someone's garage. Is this the last round? Yes, we can get everyone down there this time. Given the numbers, it'll take about 3 hours for them all to walk through. I just hope nothing happens. I run back and forth between the front and end of the line to keep an eye on everyone. Right when I'm at the front, I see something again. He's here. He's aiming for the end of the line. I turn around and run. As I get close, I hear people screaming. Monster! They are right, but I wish they wouldn't shout about it. They're just going to make more people panic. I heard those rumors too, but what the hell is it? I don't know, it's just a monster. Look at those plants. There must be weird mutants too. We saw dragon-like things on the TV too. What the hell? Am I dreaming? I can tell the fear spreading like a wave toward the front of the line. Please calm down! Do not disturb the line! A Martel employee moves in and tries to keep everyone organized. His head flies off. Everyone watches it in silence. No one knows what just happened. After a slight crunching noise, the people turn their heads. A hound's jaw is gnawing at the man. Fresh blood spills out, staining his robe. When the man's body falls to its knees, a chorus of screams fills the air. What the hell is that? He's dead! That thing ate him! Run! Run! Wah! The hound wags its tail as it watches the people flee. Anger boils up inside me. The people are running around wildly, knocking each other over. A little girl gets thrown out of the line. In the wild, stragglers are always the first to be picked off. Yeah! A voice so tense it can't even form a scream. The hound rushes toward the girl. I rush toward her as well, while making an aurora blade. The hound's head flies through the air, leaving its body behind. It turns to dust and vanishes before hitting the ground. Ah! Her mother rushes out of line and grabs her. More familiars come out of the woodwork. They begin attacking people. I can't protect all of them at once. A surge of anger spreads through my body. A searing hot pulse numbs my fingertips. I shout from the bottom of my lungs. Stop! 3 blades grow out of my wrist. They writhe individually, making sharp metallic noises. With their own instincts, they cut their way into the heart of the familiars. The living blades cut, stab, and carve to their heart's content. You've got plenty of prey this time. The people fall into complete panic. Shoving, kicking, trampling. The garage entrance gets clogged, slowing things down even more. Everyone fights to get inside, which only makes it impossible for anyone to get in at all. Mothers reach over the crowd to try and get their children inside. That only heightens the confusion. Insane shrieks. People so terrified they lose bodily control and vomit. People swinging metal pipes around. People climbing on top of the garage. People tackling anyone near the front of the line. I feel completely powerless. I want to shout at them to remind them they are supposed to be intelligent creatures. There aren't even that many familiars. Most of them will survive if they just stay calm. I'm trying to save you, idiots! A sense of futility. I fight automatically without thinking. Some people give up and sit down a short distance from the garage. Red and green, poisonous colors in the sky, spreading vegetation. The song of destruction never ends. Tiny earthquakes occur every so often. Everyone's forgetting their humanity. Are we all going to melt apart and return to the earth? I hate the planet. The wave of charging people doesn't end. Familiars fly overhead, scaring them further. I continue destroying as many as I can. My ferocious blades undulate like 3 huge serpents. The familiars are diced so rapidly it looks like they're exploding. I'm fighting. I'm doing everything I can. But there are still people dying nearby. No matter how hard I try, people keep dying. My heart's on the verge of breaking. I force myself to continue. I want to see Akane when this is all over. And I want to go on one final date. There are a lot of familiars and a lot of victims. It's just me against all of them. I resist the urge to scream and focus on being efficient. I fight mechanically. I treat it like a job. I continue killing familiars for a few minutes. It feels like hours. After a moment of deafening silence, I realize all the familiars are gone. I literally flattened all of them. But the people continue panicking. I head for the end of the line. There is no end. I just keep finding more and more people running to the evacuation point. Eventually, it feels like I'm trying to swim up a waterfall. There's more than before. I understand. Excuse me, are you from this area? I grab a young salaryman and ask him. There's a fucking huge dog! He doesn't answer my question, but I know for sure now. They're attacking another area now. They broke the entrance to the shelter. We had to go somewhere else. The man shakes off my hand, stumbles, and starts running again. Damn it! If this keeps happening, we'll never get everyone out of here. I have to find the leader and kill him. I can hear the ground shaking. Again, a huge number of people come running. At the front, 2 young siblings trip and fall. The adults behind them look desperate. They probably didn't even see the children fall. Again, people are screaming. I hate this. I run, pounding my feet into the ground. I quickly pick up the children and move them to one side before they get trampled. Before I can turn around to yell at the adults, my body's pushed straight up into the air. The sky and earth change places. My body doesn't do what I want it to. I can't even tell if I'm standing up or lying on the ground. I hear the sounds of enormous things colliding in various places. The road undulates, spitting up clouds of dust. It continues for maybe 10 seconds. It feels like a few minutes to my body. That was the largest earthquake I've experienced thus far. Even Kasamatsuri is getting them now. Only when it starts to die down can I finally look around and grasp the situation. The first things I see are tall buildings in the distance. Shattered glass covers the roofs of smaller buildings, making them look like snow-capped mountains. Not as many buildings collapse as I expected. The immediate area is mostly unharmed. They must have state-of-the-art earthquake resistance or something. I look around for more damage. Most structures are intact. I don't see any flattened houses. There aren't any skyscrapers in this area. There's little risk of anything falling down on us. The road is cracked and parts of it are higher or lower than others, but that's it. Given how big that quake was, this is lucky. Then I realize why. Tree roots. Underneath the cracked roads is a thick tangle of roots. These made the city able to withstand the shaking. The adults I was about to yell at earlier are all lying on the ground. People can die just from the ground shaking. If this is supposed to be karma, I don't like it as much as I thought I would. I put the kids down on the ground. Are you two okay? They start sniffling, so I grab their shoulders and smile. Calm down, you'll be alright. I give them each a piece of candy. A large jawbreaker. Walk down the middle of the road. Avoid walls and buildings, since they might fall. Everyone else is over that way. Your parents look hurt, so I'll take them to the hospital. You'll be safe once you're in the shelter. It's the safest place on the planet, you know. So pull yourself together and get going. I push them forward. They start walking, but turn around several times. 2 children. This is all I can do. I look at the wounded and the stragglers. No one can help these people anymore. Even what's left of Martel is too busy keeping the refugees in line. I might be the last person to ever come through here trying to help people. I open the doors on every house I find and shout to see if anyone's inside. When I see someone in the garden or on the side of the road, I tell them to head for the shelter. When I find someone unhurt, I ask them to take care of some of the wounded in exchange for telling them the nearest tunnel to the shelter. Many people are already dead. Many others remain inside their creaking houses, lost and confused after their family was crushed by the furniture. Quite a few buildings have partially collapsed. I hear groaning from one of them, but I can't do anything. I'd need specialized equipment to save someone from that mess. People crawl out onto the street like zombies. They've been hiding in their homes, ignoring the evacuation instructions. The earthquake destroyed more than just the roads. It broke their absolute trust in civilization. They just realized the ground under their feet isn't an unshakable rock. Please evacuate! I shout as I walk down the road. The shelter's that way! I tell them where to go and help some of them get through the rubble. There's nothing else I can do. I found some survivors who probably can't make it to the shelter, but I still try to get them somewhere a little safer. This feels like forcing animals to act like intelligent humans. I run across a mostly collapsed building. Next time on Rewrite. Thanks for watching everyone, and have a nice day. Bye bye.